Welcome, fellow horror hounds. Welcome to the latest episode of Talk and Stalk, your unholy home for horror. I'm your host, as always, Barry. This isn't really an episode as such. This is just a little thing, a little kind of random, fleeting thought that I had today, just to kind of show off some of my Living Dead dolls. Yeah, that's right. I actually do collect Living Dead dolls. If you told me years ago that I'd be collecting dolls, I'd be like, you need to be sectioned. Seriously. Now, these aren't Barbies or anything like that. The ones that I collect are actually movie specific. I do believe I have about 15, 16 of them. So I'm basically just going to run through my top 10. So the majority of my collection, my favorite 10 Living Dead dolls. I believe I actually purchased my very first one probably about I'd say it was about 8, 9 months ago. I've amassed a bit of a collection since then, and they've kind of varied in price. The majority of which I've actually bought off either eBay or Amazon, a couple of which have been quite hard to get hold of. So this is going to be kind of ranked in order as well of my top 10. And I do apologize for the lack of quality in this video. Unfortunately, this is the best I'm going to get with what I'm actually using at the moment. I can't actually get the room any lighter. So, yeah, I do apologize for that. But so basically at the bottom spot here, and this was the second Living Dead doll that I ever purchased, and it's little Michael Myers. I'm not sure if Michael Myers has ever actually looked this cute before. He comes with his little blue coveralls and obviously the knife. And I actually had to give this guy a bit of a trim. His hair is still quite long. But when it arrived, he has a massive hairdo. And I'm like, I need to cut some of that off because it was like really long. I think he's a pretty cool little Living Dead doll, blank, pale, emotionless face, as Dr. Sam Loomis said. But yeah, he's, like I said, his hair's pretty long on top. It was even longer than that. I give him a little bit of a haircut. So yeah, that was the first haircut I've ever given. No complaints from him at all. So yeah, that's basically in the number 10 spot for me, little Michael Myers. Now, the next one was actually the very first Living Dead doll I bought, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I've got to have this guy, and it's little Ghostface. I love this guy. Very simple but cool. I absolutely love the Ghostface costume. Michael Myers is actually my favorite horror movie villain, but just the hair. The hair was a little bit of I think it's great. I think it's a great Living Dead doll and all that, but just the hair was just a bit too long for my liking. This is a really good little Ghostface, I think. And as I said, the very first one I bought, I think, it's one cool costume. So yeah, Ghostface in at number 9. I think both of these cost around about the same price. They were about 40, 45 pounds. So if you're in America, probably about 60 to $70, I think. Now the next on the list is little Freddy Krueger. Now I apologize, it's really dark, so you can't really get a good look at his face, I don't think. Yeah, I really am sorry for that. But yeah, Freddy Krueger. I think, again, I don't think Freddy Krueger's ever really looked this cute before, in all honesty. But yeah, that's about as good as I can get with the lighting that I've got, the lack of lighting, should I say. But yeah, he's an awesome. Again, he was probably about the third or fourth one that I actually purchased. Again, roughly around the same price as the others. Now, the next one on the list would actually be, this is where I was quite torn actually between two. Reagan. Again, can't get a great look at the face, unfortunately. There you go. Probably the only Living Dead doll that actually looks scary. I've got to be honest. They've all got like a very kind of cute aspect to them. Whereas Reagan, yeah, there's nothing really cute about her. Yeah, Exorcist, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I think this is just a fantastic Living Dead doll. I really do. I think I'm not going to lift up her dress, but I do believe underneath the dress, it actually says "Help Me," which is obviously from the scene in the film. I know this probably looks really wrong. I do apologise. Yeah, it says "Help Me" underneath. So the next one. Now this is one of the pricier ones. This cost me around about £100. And that is, again, not a great look at the face. I do apologise. But this is Leatherface, of course. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, horror classic. I love this Living Dead doll. I love the blood spatter. My youngest actually saw this, and yeah, she was like, "Oh, he's got a lot of ketchup on him." Yeah, she's convinced it's ketchup. So yeah, love this guy. This one, as I say, a bit pricey, a little harder to get hold of when I purchased him, and yeah. So the next one now. Now, again, this was quite a pricey one. This is actually the most expensive one I own, I believe. I think it cost me around 120, 130 to buy this. Quite hard to get hold of, and that is Jason. Now, this is from Friday the 13th Part 3. There is actually a Jason from the 2009 remake as well. And getting back to Michael Myers, actually, there is a Rob Zombie Halloween 2 Michael Myers Living Dead doll as well. I don't like the film. The Living Dead doll looks pretty cool. I just don't own it. But this Jason, this is one of my favourites. Quite annoying. There's blood spatter. I think the hockey mask is cool, and you can of course remove it. Look at that. He's almost as handsome as me, isn't he? It's like spot the difference. And yeah, with this one, it is kind of annoying actually. The mask doesn't really hold on too well, so it actually took me about 10 to 15 minutes to actually get the mask on properly. So when I actually stand him up, it doesn't slip over, and it tends to slip over from time to time. But I think it's a great Living Dead doll. I really do. So yeah. Now the next one. Now, I do actually have another one to accompany this. It's actually upstairs. I forgot to bring it down. I do apologise. But this is actually Frankenstein's monster. And I have actually got the bride that goes with him. But yeah, she's actually upstairs in that. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Universal monster movies. And this was very hard to get hold of. I actually was bidding for this from the UK, a seller in the UK, and I missed out. In the last 15 minutes, somebody actually outbid me within, I think it was like the last minute or so, and I managed to actually find someone in Spain that actually was selling it for a pretty good price, and I managed to get him and the bride, and I believe they were the last ones I bought. This was actually just a little while before Christmas, back in about September, October. But yeah, I absolutely love this Living Dead doll. I do actually have Dracula. He is actually here. He's not in my top 10, but my very own little Bela Lugosi, which I think I actually paid the least amount for any of these Living Dead dolls. I think it cost me around about £25, £30, which I think is an absolute bargain, to be honest. Brand new as well. So yeah, Frankenstein's monster, obviously made iconic by Boris Karloff. Now the next one, we're kind of getting up to you know, the top spot now. Ash, my very own little Bruce Campbell. This was actually a present of mine from my fiance, completely unexpected. And I absolutely love him. I love the Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, of course, is one of my favourite horror comedies of all time, one of my favourite horror films of the 80s. He's just adorable. He's got there is a shotgun that actually goes in the back. It's actually upstairs. And, of course, the chainsaw arm. And, again, I'm not sure if Ash has ever quite looked this cute. But, yeah, big Bruce Campbell fan. Now, we're up to the top two now. And my number two is my very own little Norman Bates. Psycho is one of my all-time favourites. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Anthony Perkins. He just completely cemented himself in that role. The shower scene itself, one of the most iconic scenes, if not the most iconic scene in the history of horror. I think this guy's brilliant. I absolutely love him. You can actually get Marion Crane as well. I don't own Marion Crane, but there's a Marion Crane Living Dead doll. I just love the fact that it's in black and white as well. That obviously perfectly suits the movie. The little wig and yeah. This was probably about my fourth or fifth Living Dead doll, actually, and yeah, my second favorite. Now, number one. Now, this is one that is very hard to get hold of now. I've only seen a few sellers online actually selling this. I got lucky. I got very lucky, I think. I found a seller selling it in the UK, secondhand, but in perfect condition. So I got it for a pretty good price. I think it cost me about £95. And this is probably my all-time favourite vampire film. This is my very own little Count Orlok. Of course, Nosferatu. Absolutely love the look of this guy. The pointed ears, the rat teeth, and the hat actually comes off. Brilliant. He actually does come with the female in the movie as well, which is actually upstairs. I often forget that it's a double pack actually, because I don't currently have her on display, shockingly. But yeah, he's my number one favorite. So my two favorites are actually from black and white horror movies. So yeah, oh yeah, the little fan, kind of cute, in a kind of horror-esque, vampirish way. But yeah, so they're my 10 favorite Living Dead dolls. The other ones I do own are, I've got Jack Torrance, I've got Sam from 2007's Trick or Treat. Had Pennywise from 2017's It. Unfortunately, I don't have the Tim Curry version yet. Maybe, in time. It is a good Living Dead doll, I've got to say. And there is actually one. Oh, I have Pinhead. And Pinhead was very close to being in the top 10 for me. Just edged out by Michael Myers. But the thing is with Pinhead, he is a really unique looking Living Dead doll. And what I love with Sam's is Sam actually comes, you can actually take the sack off his head. And it's awesome because he looks just like he does from the movie. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to show you for today. So thanks a lot to everyone that watched/listened, and I'll be back again soon to hopefully haunt you and torment you. And take care.